Hi, Crystal. How are you doing tonight? Let me know if you see me okay and you can hear me okay. And I want to welcome everybody to Live with Connie. And as you enter the chat, please let me know that you're here. Or as you enter the live, let me know you're here. So, how has your day been going, Crystal? Can you hear and see me, Crystal? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you're not feeling too good. But yeah, last night I felt horrible last night. I was aching, my back hurt, and I had some indigestion and headache. I mean, I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday, but I still feel a little Okay, so just wait. Oh, looks like some other people are here. If you just enter the chat, please leave a comment so I know you're here. Let me know how the weather is on in your area. Hi, Deneen. How are you doing today? How's the weather in Canada? And Brenda, how are you doing? And let me know how the weather is. In Louisiana, it's around, I think it's 63 degrees right now. It's been cool here today because I'm chilly right now. Crystal is on strong antibiotics. You know how that goes. Oh, yeah. You know, the worst medicine that I ever took was with Medrol. That stuff is strong. It will make you feel so loopy. And I've been on it twice before, and I don't like how it makes me feel. So it's cold and windy there too. Yeah, y'all weather's probably a lot like it is here. Hi, Kathy. How are you doing tonight? Let me know how the weather is in your area. Oh, and also let me know what y'all currently are working on. Are y'all working on any new projects? Hi, Viviana. How are you today? And let me know how the weather is in your neck of the woods. Brenda says she's doing okay. It's sunny, 67 in Northern California. So yeah, let me know what projects y'all currently are working on. And it looks like we have 7. So I'm fixing to start on my questions. But I do want to let y'all know, if y'all don't know this already, I finally put my first pattern for sale up on Ravelry, my Easter plaid beanie. And I currently have a giveaway for that pattern on my Crochet Tuesday video. And I also have my 500 subscriber giveaway going on, which we're doing a clue style game. So go check those giveaways out if you haven't already done so. And let's see. Viviana is crocheting a shawl. Oh, and you know I love shawls. I'm going to have to see what it looks like when you're done. And it's cloudy and 55 there. Kathy lives in Houston and it's a little chilly, and she's okay with that. It was bad. The weather lately, it's chilly, but like you don't really like running the heater because in a few days you won't need it, or the heat from the heater will just make it too hot. Hi, Trisha. How are you doing tonight? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? And you love the background. Oh, thank you. I have fun playing around with the green screens. On every video, you'll probably see a different background when I do my lives. And you're still working on your rectangular granny square blanket. Okay, and Crystal is working on her Tanisha knit stitch blanket. So is that a knitted blanket or is it actually crochet? And I know like I want to learn how to do Tunisian crochet. That's something I'm starting to get an interest in. Hi, Tiffany. How are you today? How's the weather in your area? And Trisha says it's beautiful here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Ooh, that's nice. It's always nice to have beautiful weather. It's crochet. So you have some Tunisian crochet hooks? It snowed. And it's so funny how up north, people still get snow. And in the south, we're getting ready for the hot weather to come. So my first question I'm going to ask y'all tonight is what are some of your favorite websites? Where for shopping, I tend to like Amazon and I also like eBay. Um, for social media, Facebook, and of course I love YouTube. And then can't forget about Ravelry for crochet and knitting patterns. Um, but those are the sites I tend to go to the most. And what about y'all? And Denise says it's 61 degrees and she's making a corner to corner baby blanket. And that's one stitch I love is the corner to corner. I'm trying to think of some more websites that I'm into. I know at one time there was a website, I think it was games.com, and they used to have a lot of the popular board games on that site. And I think that site still exists, but I think it's different now. But I always love playing the traditional board games online. Let's see. Crystal likes Amazon or eBay for shopping. Those are typically the best two places. But I'm curious if anyone else has some good suggestions too when it comes to shopping. Trisha likes Amazon, and for the news, she likes Rumble. She really likes Pinterest and Instagram. Now, Pinterest, I like searching for things on Pinterest, but like how, I don't get all into it like how a lot of people do. Yeah, I don't have all the boards up and all that stuff. I just mostly search on it. And Instagram, I'm really not the biggest fan of Instagram. I did make an Instagram account, but I really prefer Facebook over Instagram. I just find Instagram, I don't know, I just don't find it as user friendly. But that's just my opinion. Let's see. Denise says she's using only 5 chains and a linked double crochet. Ooh, nice. And Viviana says for online shopping, she likes Joann's, she likes Amazon and YouTube. And I used to like ordering from Joann's, but the last time I ordered from them, they held the initial amount that I ordered. And I made a big order. And then as they were shipping, then they took it out again. So for a while, they were holding on to double the amount that I had ordered. And I really don't like how they do that. And let's see. Kathy says she shops Amazon and Etsy. Oh, yeah, Etsy's another good one. They have some really nice stuff there. And Brenda says eBay, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. And I wish we had a Hobby Lobby here. Well, the physical store, that is. Etsy, Amazon. If I can't find it someplace else. Crystal prefers Facebook over Instagram, but she does use both. And Trisha says a lot of her friends are on Instagram. That is why she uses it. Yeah, but yeah, I just mostly do my channel stuff on there. But other than that, I don't really use Instagram that much. And now I did start Twitter, which Twitter is better than what it was when it first came out. Because at first it was basically you just put like your status and that was it. And I always felt like Facebook had more options. But now it's starting to get more like Facebook. And I'm going to go ahead and ask the next question for y'all. And y'all can at any time answer anything I'm asking. Also, if you have any questions you want to ask me, feel free at any time. And oh yeah, and if you're a content creator and you want your channel link dropped in the chat, just put CC in the chat and Crystal will drop your channel link for you. And what is your favorite kitchen appliance or tool? Oh, hi, Sandrine. How are you doing tonight? How's the weather in your area? And what are you currently working on? And let's see. Brenda says she likes Instagram so she can see cool things folks are making. And Kathy uses Facebook and YouTube. And let's see. Crystal's asking if anyone remembers MySpace. Yep. And actually, MySpace is actually how I met Frank, where he started contacting me. And the only reason I really talked to him and decided to meet him was because we had a mutual friend. He used to work with someone I went to high school with. So, but that's how me and Frank started talking. And let's see. Hi, David. How are you doing tonight? How's the weather in your area? And Sandrine's working on a baby blanket. Hi, is your name Ricola? If that's not your name, let me know, okay? But Ricola Crochet Corner just entered, and let me know how you're doing tonight, and how's the weather in your area, and what are y'all currently working on? And the Purple Yarnivore just entered. Hi, and what's your name? What's your first name? And Sandrine likes her crock pot. And Brenda says her favorite kitchen appliance is her stove. Oh yeah, that's a good one. You need your stove. I remember when my oven went out. Oh, I missed my oven, and I was having to use my I have like this big round like electric oven, kind of like an air fryer that I would use. Let's see. And Brenda's favorite kitchen tool is a knife. Those are always handy. Trisha thinks it's a lovely story about how I met Frank. And David says it's lovely in coastal North Carolina. And David had a rough time trying to do a live stream earlier for the first time using my phone. And I've never done it from the phone. I've always done it from my desktop. So I'm no help on that one. But maybe someone else in the chat can help you with that. Okay, your name is Crystal. Okay, hi, Crystal. And y'all have snow in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, we're starting to warm up, but it is a chillier day here in Louisiana. And Tiffany loves Pampered Chef products. And okay, your name is Trish. Okay, I got it now. And Crystal is working on a shawl. Let's see. Just a minute. Okay. And David loves his slow cooker. And I got sidetracked and didn't answer the question. I love my air fryer. I love doing like air frying different vegetables for French fries. Like I especially love butternut squash fries. Beet chips are good in it. And I also like doing like air frying like chicken or pork. And I also like my Instapot. And that's one of my favorite devices because a lot of times like it kind of does the same thing as a crock pot in a sense, but cooks faster, where it makes your meat real tender. And what I like is you can like brown your meat and saute your vegetables all in one pot instead of like if you're trying to do that with something you put in a crock pot, you got to dirty more pots and pans and then stick it in the slow cooker. And Deneen says she's listening and making supper tonight is breakfast for supper. And you know that is always a good idea for supper is eating breakfast. Ooh, some ham, biscuits and gravy. At least that's some of my favorite breakfast foods. And Trish loves her coffee pot. Oh yeah, that's another good kitchen device. Gotta have your coffee. And Crystal likes her coffee pot too. And my next question for y'all is what song do you think is the silliest? And I would have to go with most of Weird Al Yankovic songs. Like remember the song Like a Surgeon? Um that was and I think Amish Paradise was another one. And then that song that would go a da da da. That one was really silly. Trying to think of some other silly ones. And Trish says her coffee pot is the most used appliance in her kitchen. And you know, it probably is for most of us. But let's see, what are some other silly songs? And Weird Al has a lot. Oh, and then Cause I'm a Blonde by Julie Brown. She had a lot of silly songs. I'm a Barbie Girl is another one. Silly song. What does the fox say? Yeah, that one's silly. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but those are the only ones coming to mind right now. Crystal remembers that song Barbie Girl. That one was such a silly song. And it's funny how some of the silliest songs become so popular. Trisha says she's showing her age, but she always thought they are coming to take me away with silly. Yeah, they're coming to take me away. Hee hee ha ha ha. Let's see. It looks like I'm caught up on all the comments, so I'm going to go ahead and move to the next question. But y'all can answer the previous questions at any time. What is your favorite fashion trend from the past? Where I always, like this was an older style that came back into style when I was in junior high, but I always liked the penny loafers. And I had a pair in black, brown, and navy blue. And Another style that I always liked that I wish would become popular again is from the 50s, the poodle skirt. I love poodle skirts. Let's see. The Unicorn song by the Irish Rovers. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to look that song up after I finish this live. And Froggy is here. Hi, Froggy. How are you doing tonight? How's the weather in your neighborhood? And let me know what you're currently working on. And Trisha says mini skirts, but she can't wear them anymore. Yeah, I remember wearing mini skirts whenever I was around 1920. And Trisha says bell bottoms. I've never been a fan of bell bottoms, and I had to wear them every day whenever I was in the Navy. And David says wear poodle skirts if you like them. Who cares what anyone else thinks? And I totally agree. And at church, um one of the girls, her grandma had made her a poodle skirt, and she wore it to church one Sunday, and I loved it. I was all like, I want me one. And Froggy likes penny loafers. She also likes saddle shoes. I don't remember what saddle shoes are. And Froggy's still working on my hat, and it's snowing. And I can't wait till you finish the hat, because I just so love your color choices. It's like the colors you went with are gorgeous. I think I might like your color choices better than mine. And David loves the preppy look for men. It's timeless. And I miss the preppy look too. I remember like when we used to cuff our pants and our jeans back in the early 90s, the big bangs. And Trisha said she used to have to wear saddle shoes with her high school uniform. See, I never had to wear uniforms to school. And Viviana, she likes the 60s mini dresses. In the 80s, I used to wear her mom's old dresses because she loved them. Yeah, some styles are just classic and timeless. Okay, my next question for y'all is, what is a favorite family recipe that you like? And I would have to go with my mom's cornbread dressing. And this was a recipe that my mom never really had it written down. And when she passed away, no one really seemed to know the recipe. And like my mom's sister cooked her similar, but it wasn't quite. And then over the years, my sister finally kind of got it pretty close to my mom's, because my other aunt had, I think, had at one time kind of gotten the recipe from my mom, but my mom had kind of changed it up some over the years. But finally, we've gotten it close. Hey, Joe, how are you doing tonight? And how's the weather in your neck of the woods? And where's Dana at tonight? And Brenda says Cornish pastries. And Sandrine says her mom's cornbread, it's yummy. And that's one thing, like my mom with her cornbread dressing, she always used the Jiffy packs, but it's better if you make homemade cornbread. And Trisha says her mom's carrot cake, no icing, just a bit of powdered sugar on top because the cake is so moist. You do not need icing. Ooh, Sounds good. And Trisha loves Cornish pastries. And Crystal says her grandmother's sausage stew. Ooh, that sounds good. I might tell her I might have to get her recipe. And what's Mama up to tonight? And Trish says her mom used to make a cheese stuffed bread called pagaches. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It was Hungarian or Slovak. Can't remember. Ooh, that does sound good. And homemade bread is always awesome. Like I have a bread maker and I play around with making bread. And Tiffany has to go, but she wishes everyone a great night. And I hope you have a good night too, Tiffany. Don't do anything I would do. Crystal's gonna tell Mama. She's in her room laying down, you think. I was so excited that I actually got to see Mama yesterday. Okay. And it looks like I'm caught up on that question. So now I'm going to ask y'all, what are your hobbies? And I know yarn is pretty much everyone's hobby, crochet, knitting. But outside of that, I do like to cross stitch. I like diamond painting. I used to be into making earrings, but I haven't done that in a while. Uh, Adult coloring books, watching TV, listening to music, cooking. Mm, that's all I can think of offhand. Trying to think of some other things I'm into. Viviana loves puzzles. Puzzles are fun. And David is passionate about opera and he writes about opera. He was once paid to write about opera. Ooh, nice. You have talent. If you can you sing opera too, or you just write it? And Trisha likes traveling, music. She plays the piano. Ooh, I wish I had musical talent, but I don't. And Sandrine likes sewing. And Trish is a crocheter, but learning to knit socks. Oh yes, and I'm working on knitting my first pair of socks right now, which I'm gonna wait until my Knitting Friday video to tell you about my adventures with them today. But today was a rough sock day. I'll just leave it at that. And Crystal says crochet mostly, but she collects coins, likes to write poetry, and a gamer on Xbox. And Brenda likes to spinning yarn, ham radio. What's ham radio? I'm not familiar with that. Sewing. And David studied to be an opera singer, but for various reasons that didn't happen. But funny thing is, sometimes I think that I probably have a high enough voice to be an opera singer if I was trained, but I'm not trained. But I can get like real high when I try to sing. And Trisha's gonna be tagging Trisha the knitting lady in the 10 Yorny questions. And she's gonna be uploading that video tonight. And that's one thing, that new one that's going around, I got tagged today by Crystal the cat lady. So I'm gonna try to work on that tomorrow to upload a video for. And Trish makes stitch markers for her Etsy shop. Ooh, I bet you make some pretty ones too. Making the stitch markers are fun. Hey Kay, how are you doing tonight? How's the weather in your area? And are you working on any new projects? Oh, hi Liz. Hi shipmate. How are you doing tonight? And how's the weather in your neck of the woods? And she's dropping in to show some love. And David says he honestly thinks with a little bit of guidance, everyone can sing. Some don't recognize it, some actively resist it, but it's there. See, like me, I would need a lot of breath control. I have trouble with the breath control. Let's see. And Trish says it's so fun making stitch markers, and she loves dyeing yarn too. And oh, and I love hearing about people getting tongue tied, people dyeing yarn, and that's one thing eventually I would like to learn how to do. And Crystal, the cat lady, does some beautiful dyeing of yarn. And Liz says it's cold and gloomy today. Hi, Julie. How are you doing today? How's the weather in your area? And what are you currently working on? And Kay says it's cold here in Alabama, and she has a cow on her hook at home right now. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. What is the last TV show you binge watched? Where I am currently binge watching Rookie Blues, and I'm trying to think of what I binge watched before that. I can't remember. But I like binge watching TV while I crochet or knit. Hi Angela, how are you doing tonight? Let us know how the weather is in your area and what are you currently working on? And hi Laura Lee, how are you doing tonight? You're just listening while crocheting. What are you working on and how's the weather in your area? And David is getting tired and might have to get horizontal soon. Well, if you're going, David, I hope you have a good night. And Sandra says good night, everyone. And I hope you have a good night too. And Crystal says she loves dyeing yarn and making polymer clay handles. Yes, and Crystal's really good at the clay handles. I'm just learning how. I need to get more experience. And let's see. Oops. Julie says snow. I am working on the first of 2 sleeves. Then I have all the parts of the cardigan done. Then I have to assemble it. And I haven't done cardigans yet, which eventually I'd like to get to that. And Lorelei says MASH. And Kay says Heartland. Oh, and I like Heartland. And I noticed Roku has Heartland on it now for free. So after I finish with Rookie Blues, I want to catch up on Heartland because it's been I'm quite a few seasons behind on that. And oops, I lost my place again. Viviana says Superstore, and before that, all the Amazing Race seasons. And I like Superstore too. I wish it wasn't going off the air. That's one show I'm gonna miss. And Trish says that she loves to dye yarn. It's addicting. And Liz says, "Oh, my her husband's blanket." And Sandrine says, my favorite is Law and Order SVU. And Trisha says, Nurse Ratched. What's that one about? I'm trying to think if I've heard of that. I think I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. And Sandrine says Kay in Alabama also. And Julie said she loved the red and black handle one you made. Oh, thank you. And that one, it actually has a little bit of gray in it, but the gray doesn't show in as many spots on it. And Lorelai is working on more charity blankets. It's actually a halfway decent day. We're up in the 50s. Ooh, and that sounds bird to me because it's chilly here and we're in the 60s. And Angela says it's chilly here in North Carolina. Supposed to freeze tonight working on a levee. Ooh, nice. And Crystal says the last one that she binge watched was Discovery of Witches. And Angela says was added to Yellowstone. And Trish says Summer from Summer's Tip and Stitches got me binging on Highlander. And Liz wants to know where you watch Discovery of Witches. And Crystal's grandmother loves Yellowstone too. And Tricia says it's about the character of the nurse from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It is a bit twisted. Yeah, it sounded like it was probably a twisted one from the title. And Lorelai says it's been in the 20s or 30s. And Teensy says Ray Donovan and Shameless and Yellowstone, Heartland. It's in the 60s here, Brisk Wind Burr. And let's see. Crystal says it's on AMC Plus is where you watch it, but she recorded it all on TV and then watched. Brenda said Little House on the Prairie. And I used to watch that as a child. I loved that as a kid. And Kate says that she's seen Sandrine in Jeannie's Lives. Okay. And my next question for y'all is, how do you take your coffee? I usually like the flavored coffees. Like mocha, caramel, cinnamon. And really, I don't think there's any flavored coffee that I don't like. My favorite brand is Starbucks. And then Community would be my next favorite brand of coffee. And I like the flavored coffee creamers. And the same thing, I don't think there's a flavored coffee creamer that I don't like. And then I sweeten mine with stevia. Let's see. Trish says Twisted sounds good and wants to know if it's on Netflix. And everyone's talking about Roll Tide. And Trish says regular coffee with Italian sweet creamer. And actually, that's the type. I have that coffee creamer right now in my fridge. And she loves flavored coffees. And Angela loves Italian cream creamer in her coffee. And another thing, I love frappuccinos too. Frappuccinos they're so good. It's like a dessert coffee. And let's see. Sandrine says she don't drink coffee, just mostly water. Angela loves Italian cream creamer in her coffee. Crystal likes regular dark roast with flavored creamer. Teensy doesn't drink coffee, but she does like Community coffee. Yeah, pretty much most people from Louisiana love Community. They love Community coffee. Teensy says gotta have a Coca-Cola. Let's see. Brenda says with a bit of sugar and milk. And let's see. Angela says, same as Trish. I don't want coffee without it. Laughing out loud. Kay doesn't drink coffee much, but when she does, she likes it black with sugar. Viviana loves caramel iced coffee, but it is 1 year I am not drinking coffee. Since my last day of work, I am in layoff. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope things work out with you with your job or finding another job. Trisha likes half and half in her coffee. And the purple Yarnivore wants to know what is community coffee. Um, it's a brand of coffee that's sourced in Louisiana. Um, you have like the typical different roast, and like they have like a pecan praline flavored, Mardi Gras flavored, um, hazelnut. They have different flavored ones. That's the best way I know how to explain it. If we had some in the house, I would show you a bag of it, but right now we don't. Yeah, Crystal's saying it's a brand like Folgers, which yeah, that's basically what it is. And Kathy says she likes community coffee with half and half. That she lived in New Orleans back in the early '80s. And I used to be from Homa, and now I live in Eunice. Liz says no coffee for me. She loves her sodas. Lorelai says lots of good black coffee. And Trisha says I'll have to look for community coffee now. Now, like some areas, I don't know if they definitely carry community, but you might be able to find it. Let's see. And my next question for y'all: what mystery do you wish you knew the answer to? I would love to know what happened to John Benet Ramsey. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be one of those mysteries that we'll never know the answers to. But that's one I would love to know. And I'm sure there's others too that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head, but let's see. Teensy says it's strong, stronger than any I've ever had. And Trish says, can I find community coffee on Amazon? Those flavors sound delish. You should be able to find it on Amazon. Or they do have their own website too, and you can order coffee from their website. Just look up community coffee. And Teensy said she's never seen it on Amazon. And Trisha says, I agree with you, Connie. What happened to that little girl? And I have my theories, but I mean, you never know. And then you feel funny pointing fingers at somebody, especially if they really didn't do it. And Kathy says she sometimes finds community coffee on Walmart online. So you might want to check there too. Let's see. Crystal says she makes her strong, dark roast, 5 tablespoons, and fill a coffee pot to 8 cups. Oh yeah, and Frank's another one. He loves strong coffee. And I used to have to fuss at him because he would waste coffee. And like he would only put like this much in his cup, and the rest was milk. Because he does more like a coffee milk. But that's why I told him, it's like, well, why don't you just make like a half a pot or a fourth a cup and use, less coffee? And Trish wants to know how to get community coffee. Um, I would just Google community coffee, and you should be able to find their website. I think it's probably communitycoffee.com, but I'm not really sure. But they do sell, you can order their coffee from their website. And Lorelai says the UFO mystery is getting traction again. And I do believe UFOs exist and aliens. And Brenda says Amelia Earhart. That's another one that would be nice to know the truth on, or what really happened. And Angela says Walmart sells it, or Food Lion grocery store. So you might want to try those places too. And you might be able to find the community coffee on Walmart.com. And Kay says Amelia Earhart too. And Trish says she'll have to check her Walmart. And she likes Cameron's coffee. I've never heard of that brand. And Julie is heading to bed. And she says good night. Good night, Julie. I hope you have a good night. And Trisha says she agrees with me, and she's seen a UFO years ago. Ooh, you got to tell me the scoop, Trisha. Tell me what happened. And have any of y'all had any experiences where y'all think y'all seen a UFO or may have had like an alien experience? And Crystal wants to know what the question was. The last question I asked was, what up? What mystery do you wish you knew the answers to? And then we kind of came back to aliens and UFOs, if anyone's ever had any experiences. And let's see. Liz says, thank you for your hospitality. Love you. See you soon. Oh, okay. You must be talking. You're still staying, right, Liz? At first, I thought you were leaving too. Let's see. Lorelai has had no experience with UFOs. I haven't had any experiences. Now, a part of me would love to if it was safe. But, like, if they were harmful, then no, I wouldn't want to. Because I worry that they have, like, high radiation and stuff. And my next question for y'all, what old-fashioned things or old school type things do y'all miss? And really, there's a lot of stuff because I feel like technology has taken over so much that we've gotten away from the little things that matter. And it's like, people don't spend quality time with family anymore. They're always on the phone. And I know, like, one thing me and Frank were talking about a while back was how, like, for Easter, it used to be little girls would always wear the real pretty Easter dresses with the Easter bonnets. And you don't see that hardly anymore. And then, like, the old school phones. But in some aspects, I do think the phones are nicer nowadays, except I don't hear too good off of them. But let's see. Just like, kids would play more games outside, and now they don't. I'm trying to think of some other things. Let's see. Krista would like to know if there is a God. I believe, but would love to know. And I mean, I believe there definitely is a God. So, and let's see. The Trish says the mystery I'm curious about is what really happens after death, and that is something that I am curious about, because it's like you don't completely know what happens. And Trisha said, saw it in the sky on the way to a dance in college. I was not alone. It looked like the one in Close Encounters. Ooh, interesting. And Brenda says she misses the old rotary phones, and like the really old ones. Like they look antique. Those I think are gorgeous. And Trisha says we always had a new outfit for Easter. I miss an old electric typewriter. And yeah, it's like there's so much that we've gotten away from, like home cooked meals as much, baking. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people, like some of us still do it, but now people get convenient food so much more. Let's see. Lorelai says she lives in a small community where the biggest thing to do is watch high school sports. We fill the stands, not a lot of city stuff to do here. And yeah, like my town, there's not a lot happening in my town. You have to go to Lafayette really for anything. And Brenda says, "Oh, and phone booths, pay phones. Oh yeah." And it's funny how that was a constant growing up, and now you they're rare to come across one. And like in some aspects, technology is a good thing, but there's a lot that it harms stuff too. And Brenda says that's how her town is too. Yeah, it's like I wish our town had more to do. And Crystal says, yeah, payphones for those of us that don't have cell service. And And Lorelai says she likes it where the community supports the kids. And really, that is one thing in my town. The community really supports the kids. Let's see. Okay, looks like everything's caught up. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention, I am going to be adding a third live time spot starting next week. So I'm going to start going live on Mondays at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time too. So I'll be live 3 times a week. And let's see. Trish says she misses drive-ins. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the next question now, if I can find my spot. Okay. What do y'all collect? Like what type of things? I collect angels, which most of y'all know from the background of my videos. And I love the dreamsicle cherubs. And I also love the seraphim angels. Those are my favorite two to collect. And most of them I get from either yard sales or thrift stores. And Crystal says she's never been to a drive-in movie, but that was very cool. And you know one thing, whenever I was stationed in Diego Garcia, we had an outdoor movie theater. And they kind of had like benches for us to sit on. And but they played old movies because like nothing was current. Like so it was older movies that we got there. Let's see. Okay, Lorelai wants to know the 3 times. Okay, my lives are going to be Monday at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Then Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Trish says besides yours, she loves to collect. I can't tell which animal that is. Can you let me know which animal it is? I can't make it out from the little picture. And Trisha says she loves clocks. Oh, that's interesting. So do you have grandfather clocks? And Lorelai says she collects yarn and that's about it. And Viviana says she's got to go. It was a lot of fun. Oh, and thank you for coming. And I hope you have a good night. And Kathy says she collects yarn and cats. Granted, our yard seems to be collecting stray cats. And, and it's like, look, I mean, those cats are always in our yard. And then, of course, I have my two cats. And Brenda says she collects rocks and seeds from plants that she likes. Ooh, interesting. And Crystal says snow globes, keychains, VHS tapes. And I like snow globes too. Like I have some of the Dreamsicle snow globes. And let's see. Okay, elephant. Okay, it was elephants. You collect, Trisha. Okay. And I wondered if it was an elephant, but I wasn't really sure. And Trisha says, no, just portable clocks. I move too often. Okay. So I'm going to ask one more question and then we'll wrap things up because it's almost been an hour. Unless y'all would want to stay on later, but let me know if y'all would want to stay later. Okay. What was the first thing you ever crocheted or knitted? For knitting, the first thing I did a little headband. I believe it was stockinette stitch, and it was like a multicolor yarn I used. And for crochet, I also did a headband, which it was in a kind of a medium pink, not quite a, I wouldn't say a dark pink, more medium. And it had like a black button on it, and I used number 5 weighted yarn on that one. But those were my first projects. And Lorelai says she loves rocks too, but she doesn't get out anymore. And Lorelai said her last rock was a lava bomb. Ooh, sounds interesting. And Crystal says crochet, her first project was a baby bib, and for knitting it was a scarf. Yeah, my second project I did for knitting was a scarf. And Trisha says a scarf, both crochet and knit. Lorelai says so long ago, probably a granny square or a pot holder. And Kay says a granny square blanket. Ooh, you dove right in on a big project. And Trish says her first project for crochet was a scarf and for knitting was a hat. And Brenda says a tiny wonky rectangle for a troll doll way back in the 90s when she was little. I remember those little troll dolls. They were so cute. And Kathy says she crocheted a blanket for her first project. Ooh, you dived in on those big projects. And really, I always say, like, when it comes to learning, you really are best just diving into things because, you learn quicker and faster if you just dive into projects and different stitches and stuff. So let's see. Want to give it a little longer to see if any more comments come in before I close up. But I hope everyone had a good time tonight and had fun. Okay. So I haven't gotten any more comments come through. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. But I've had fun with y'all tonight, and I really enjoy getting to know everyone better. And I hope everyone has a good night and that they have a fabulous yarny night or yarny day tomorrow. and be the light. And bye, everyone.